What was the best era to wear a corset in as a wheelchair user? And you might say, well, that's a modern problem, but we have inscriptions in Chinese and Greek literature all the way back to the 5th century BCE. Here's Confucius using a wheelchair. So whether hand-cranked tricycles, transport chairs, or self-propelled manual chairs, you better believe that women used wheelchairs in the 19th and early 20th century and also wore corsets, because they wanted to have the fashionable silhouette that allowed them to wear the clothes that were popular in their day, just like anyone else. So for me, as a wheelchair user, I wanted to see which era of historical corsets would have been the most comfortable. The biggest predictor of comfort for long periods of sitting in corsets for me is length. So I gravitate towards decades when corsets were shorter in the hips. 1810 short stays can be a good option, though I will confess that the slender column of most Regency dresses don't feel particularly comfortable to sit in a wheelchair, but definitely less likely to catch your skirt on your wheels. The 1860s and early 1870s were an era of shorter, hourglass-shaped corsets, and maybe a good fit. From the 1860s to the 1890s, there's also a rounded shape over the tummy in the corset, which is a lot more comfortable for sitting. My personal favorite era for wheelchair adaptive corsetry is the 1890s. The corsets are shorter over the hips, you have that rounded shape over the tummy. But in 1879, the spoon busk was patented, which has an extra rounded edge on the bottom that makes it even more comfortable for a seated position. This corset is based off the Pretty Housemaid corset by the Symington Corset Company and is designed to be lightweight, flexible, and comfortable. But if you're a wheelchair user and you love the sleek and long-hipped fashions of the 1880s and 1900s, you don't have to give up your dreams. It may be worth checking out some of the horseback riding or sports corsets of that particular era because they tend to be shorter, more flexible, and to be corded rather than boned, so less likely to potentially provide pressure injuries. So being disabled doesn't mean that you can't love historical fashion. If anything, it means you get to be extra creative and bring to life the stories of people who are hidden away or forgotten. So happy costuming, because our stories are worth telling.